Hi there. I'm stuck in the middle of a spectacular traffic jam here at Chiragpuri flyover in South Delhi. It feels horrible. It feels doubly horrible because of the car I'm driving, which is a 600 horsepower Audi Rs7. I've had it over the past few days and it's not been easy because I haven't been able to open her up. And honestly, when you're driving a car like this in the city, and a car like this will primarily live in the city in a country like India, you feel horribly guilty and even criminal because when I start up the car, this information board will show me I am averaging 4 kilometers a liter. That's, I don't know, that's laughable almost because it's just, I haven't driven a car that gives me 4 kilometers a liter. Well, I just did drive the Mercedes E63 AMG and the BMW X5M competition, which give me equally bad fuel economy, but those were driven just before petrol crossed 100 rupees and came back a bit. This car is the last hurrah of the internal combustion engine. It's a super sedan. It's fabulous to sit in. The seats are wonderful. It's a amazing car. Just look at the work on it. Look at the fabric work. Look at everything about it. The digital cockpit. Everything about the car is fantastic. But it's anachronism in today's day and age where you have hybrids and electrics. And what's odd is that Audi themselves make the RS e-tron, which actually has more power than this car because it's got, if both motors are running on the front and rear axle, it's got almost 631 horsepower. It's more powerful than this car. It's even crazier than this car. But this car, you cannot duplicate the noise on this car. I mean, if I've got a bit, just a bit of noise, and it just feels crazy to drive something like this. It's insanely powerful, but I'm in the city. I'm not opening up this car to its full ability, and I've driven the RS7 of the BIC. It's a fantastically capable car despite being as long as some luxury boats I've been on. This car goes around, say, turn 4 at the end of the straight at the BIC. It's a very sharp turn. It's almost 120-degree right-hander, and you can take that on the RS7 at speed, and you will not be, sent to the passenger seat when you're taking that turn. It's an extremely stable car. It's a lovely, stable platform. But here inside Delhi and the NCR for that matter, where there's been a speed camera population boom. I mean, there was a speed camera just past there. I'm driving at 45 for that reason. The speed limit is 50 on these roads. I mean, unless you're willing to pay a lot in speed fines and for petrol, I just don't see the sense of vehicles like the RS7 or even the full-fat AMGs. Maybe a AMG 43 or a BMW M Sport or Audi's S range, the S5 Sportback, for example. Those might make sense. But not only is this fuel economy criminal in terms of money, 4 kilometers a liter when you're spending, you probably have to fill 95 octane in this. That's 110 rupees in Delhi. No, I mean, I'll be scared with those bills, man. I'll really be scared. I mean, I'm not saying even if I could afford it, I'd be scared with those bills. Where run to the shops to get, a liter of milk or something like that, where it'll be cheaper the milk will be cheaper per liter than the amount you spent to drive to the market. Makes little or no sense to use this in the city, and that's a shame because it's a very, very family friendly car. I mean, I've always loved the Audi RS7 shape. It's a beautiful shape of car. It's very comfortable, very spacious. The notchback design is really, really nice. I've loved the A7 and the A5, but it's also criminal from a carbon point of view. I mean, I love the noise. I love the noise the exhaust makes. I love the noise when you can hear hundreds of liters of oxygen being sucked in every single minute into the engine and turbochargers to get it going. It's a fabulous noise, but it's a waste when you live in a city like Delhi. It's a waste because there's almost nowhere to deploy it. This past weekend when I've had this car was also the time the Kavariyas are devotees of Shiva who take water from Ganga and take it back to their villages. Now they take up the road, and of course it's a very sincere devotion of these guys, but it's become a party as well for many of them. And I mean, I'm not going to comment on the rights or wrongs of that, but the party trucks and people taking up half the main highway. We drove down to Gurgaon and drive that should have taken 45 minutes took an hour and a half, and at a level that's not good, right? I mean, this car might have been coming fueled up, so it's not a big deal, but for everyday users who have to spend their petrol, whether they are in a fuel sipping Maruti hatchback or a Hero motorcycle or something like this, it's criminal wastage of resources just burning away. And we want to achieve net carbon zero by 2070. Now, as I said, Audi has actually made the replacement for this car already, the e-tron RS, which actually, weirdly enough, is cheaper than the Rs7 in India. The Rs7 is about 2.25 crore and the e-tron RS is under 2 crore. I think delivery positions are equally messed up on both cars, but I don't know, man. I mean, I love this car, I love the noise, I love everything about this car, but I don't know why I'm feeling guilty about it this time around. I just am. I'm feeling it feels wrong to drive something like this in today's day and age. I mean, the work I do is very carbon intensive, and I don't know. Maybe because I took this car to my son's school and felt guilty because they're all 2-year-olds. Okay, they'll have to deal with the mess that we made in terms of the carbon we emit and all of that. And yes, while I might have a more first world carbon emission than the average Indian, we don't emit much carbon, but Indians will suffer the consequences of the West leading their lives. And the West has given us cars like this, which are fantastic, but I don't know. The West is also giving us the Audi RS e-tron. So yeah, maybe that's the future. But for the last hurrah, this is one hell of a car. I really liked it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Would you buy a super powerful car like the Rs7 if you had 2 crores lying around? Do let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching. And sorry for not making any videos in the interim period. I was really caught up with the kids' school and all of that. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching.